Don't become like Josh. He says not to become loyal to the company and not work for more than 8 hours per day. However, you know that most baby boomers worked for more than 8 hours per day. As a matter of fact, Elon Musk said you cannot change the world with just 8 hours per day. We as a younger generation need to realize how hard our parents' generation worked. I bet Joshua Flake. I wasn't sure what to title this video. We made it on Reddit without being roasted for once. I Googled myself and this is what I found, or like, I'm being targeted again because there's a bunch of articles written about me, apparently. I don't ever Google myself because I don't really feel like I'm worthy of being written about or being talked about. I just make videos talking about my issues with corporate and videos about my life and stuff. So when I did Google it, it was a little awkward. Like, for example, there's this one article here from candor.co that was just written a few days ago. Before we get started here, do me a solid. Go ahead and click that thumbs up button. Click subscribe if you're not already subscribed and you want to see more stuff about corporate that you can't talk about because you'd lose your job if you did. And leave a comment, not for the algorithm, but because you have a question or something. Duh. The YouTuber who gets real about the software engineering world, the history and controversy surrounding the social media star. I don't feel like I'm a star. I don't feel like I'm a celebrity or better than anyone. Is this what it's like to be in Hollywood and have like tabloids written about you or something? Rising social media star. Like, I'm just a dude. Can you just change this? Rising social media, just a dude, Josh. That would be better. 430k YouTube subscribers and a popular GitHub account. There's nothing on my GitHub account, really. All the work I did for companies made us make new GitHub accounts, and that's all NDA. I can't tell anyone or show anyone though. At the same time, Fluke is a much scrutinized figure in the software engineering community. Yeah, that's true. There's a lot of Reddit threads. There's multiple Reddit threads often authored by self-proclaimed software engineers dedicated to criticizing his view of the industry. That's true for sure. We definitely have a lot of posts about me. Like, this was last year. I think I made this video called like, I'm being targeted. The guy who actually wrote this post was in my Discord and he was DMing me and asking me questions and pretending to be friendly with me. And then he used all of that to write this long post about me. There's another one here. Is Joshua Fluke delusional about the reality of developer jobs? To me, Josh seems to be making an enemy of the poor who have no choice but to take those developer jobs he deems as indecent, which we all know is just not, like, a job is a job. You got to do what you got to do, but if you can avoid the bad ones, you know, here's what to look for. And that's what I said when I made a video responding to this. Here's another one, and I'm pretty sure this is just straight up satire, so I'm just gonna read it to you. Just take a look at his videos. He is your typical entitled millennial, and he pisses me off because he is giving us millennial and Generation Z a bad name. People like him are the reason that hardworking boomers and the greatest generation are hesitant to hire us. Look, if you're gonna work, you need to give all you can. As a Generation Z, my uncle and grandparents and my grandparents told me to pull myself up from my bootstraps. I never complained and worked a job starting from 17 years old. Corporate America is the most ethical organization when compared to other places. Take a look at China. They work as a slave, but American corporation pays you well and treat you better than other third world countries. We only have to work for 8 hours per day, whereas they have to work for 15. Look at this upper middle class dude who is complaining about how hard life is. I bet he never even worked a real back-breaking labor job before. He's now giving advice about entrepreneurship. Let me tell you this, just get a high-paying job. Having a good paying job is the safest way to become an upper middle class if you invest your paycheck into a 401k and IRA. Don't become like Josh. He says not to become loyal to the company and not work for more than 8 hours per day. However, you know that most baby boomers worked for more than 8 hours per day. As a matter of fact, Elon Musk said you cannot change the world with just 8 hours per day. We as a younger generation need to realize how hard our parents' generation worked. I bet Joshua Flake. I've been getting that one a lot, like in the Dave Ramsey video. Joshua Snowflake. I bet Joshua Flake does not understand how great American capitalism has benefited him. American capitalism is the reason we got here, and I'm forever proud to be an American who has the freedom to work, to contribute, and not complaining like Josh. I want to add that the recent internship I have gave me free food and drinks, so Josh needs to get his facts straight. Like, this has to be a joke, and I think the people of RCS Career Questions, they missed that because, I mean, 29% upvoted. This video is just bait for him. He will make a video and reference this and then act like he is under attack. I like and share his mindset, but I agree it wouldn't be far-fetched for an up-and-coming YouTuber to have others plant a few posts to help with his content. Josh said in his videos that he does this. So in reference to this comment, I made Reddit posts like before anyone knew who I was on YouTube, and that's how I tried to use Reddit to gain traction on my initial videos that weren't even about code. It was stupid ones like WoW videos or gaming videos. and I would make Reddit posts about it, and then I'd log into my other Reddit accounts and upvote it, but Reddit knows when you do that, and they shadow ban you. Here's one. What do you think of the YouTuber Josh? And there's some of these responses in here are fairly nice to me. I agree that he's gone down the route of making clickbaity videos. It's unfortunate that you have to do this. I wish I could make a video titled something not clickbait or have a thumbnail that's not clickbait and have people watch it. But that's not what YouTube rewards. I find him way too jaded, but sometimes that's entertaining. I'm definitely jaded. I'm sure a lot of you guys had great experiences with your first jobs, and so you look at me and you're like, oh, you're just mad. And it's like, yeah, I am. Like, maybe if I had a good experience, I'd be totally different. This YouTube channel wouldn't exist, you know? There's this guy, Rusty Spoon 91. He's actually in a lot of these posts. Some of his videos are true, like the one about loyalty, but the guy is looking for hype, talking out loud about his personal things. Not cool for a man at all. I mean, this is classic gatekeeping of what other people think a man should be able to talk about, or if it's too personal, you should just suck it up and be a man. Whatever, you can miss me with the no true Scotsman. But the biggest issue I have with this guy is his experience as a dev. How? I didn't work with you. I don't understand how you know what my experience is. How can he sell courses and tell other people how to find a job if he failed that part miserably? I didn't. I chose to leave my last job. I chose to not continue the interviewing process with Google. In fact, I'm a contractor for Google right now as we speak. The thing is with a job, you don't get to control if you keep your job or not. You can work 100 hours, you can be the most loyal person there is, but it's about profit. And if the CEO says bye, the CEO says bye, and that's what happened. Here's one. What's with all the programmer YouTubers having mental breakdowns? For instance, Josh Fluke and Tech Lead, but most of this post is about Tech Lead. I think I mentioned in here like once. For instance, Josh Fluke and Tech Lead, they're frauds, nothing more. They have very little to do with real life of software engineers. They're just trying to make money off gullible people. There's been plenty of topics about these two. I already showed you that one from the dude in the Discord. This is Tech Lead, this is Tech Lead, this is Tech Lead. TLDR, my name's not even in it. Oh, I guess this question right here. How can he sell courses? The thing with the course is like how to open a business, how to convert that business to an S Corp, how to get an employee identification number, how to open a business bank account, how to separate your business expenses from your personal expenses when you have a pass-through entity, which is an LLC or an S Corporation. Like those things. Anyone follow Josh Fluke on YouTube? Who? Dude, that's how I feel about myself. Who? I'm just a dude. Who? Anyways, back to the candor.co article. They even made little graphics about me. Completed 7 years of college, became a software developer, worked as engineer. This is weird. This feels pretty vain to read a quote from me. I control my life. I will not work under you. I will not work for you. I will only be your equal. I still feel that way. Like I'll be a partner with somebody, but as soon as you're under someone, there's that sense of they have power over you, and I don't like that. They talk about my video, why I won't work as a developer anymore. Many online posters on forums like Reddit and DevRamp don't respect my ways of talking about companies and call me unprofessional. Professional just means you get paid to do something. Doesn't mean that you have to be nice about it or you can't be blunt. That's the definition of professional. It's not let's beat around the bush and pretend like we're all happy. Fluke makes videos about coding, interviewing. Not anymore. I don't make those videos. His work, sort of. Flaws in companies and corporate culture. I would say more like this and then personal stuff about life that I think is relatable. This channel is primarily for individuals interested in computer science. I just wish it was more than that. I wish people saw it more than that. A popular series of reviewing subscribers' GitHubs. I don't review their GitHubs, but I'll review like their portfolios and their resumes. Style and beliefs. Self-education. Transparency. I'm a big believer in transparency, being down to earth. Hustle. I think I'm less so about hustle these days than I was when I first started YouTube, because hustle, or at least the hustle culture now, will lead you to burnout, and I experienced that. So hustle is good. You gotta have discipline, but like if it starts taking over your life where you can't even enjoy your life anymore and all you do is like hustle, that's not good. Most of Fluke's videos are filmed with him sitting at the same black chair with his monitors visible in the background. He's very critical of the way most companies work and uses the expression corporate cringe often. According to Fluke, this phrase encompasses the inefficient way corporations use employee time. I would also define it as psychological manipulation companies use to get you to do things that would normally be warranted by more pay, but instead of paying you more, they do things like give you free breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and on-site sleeping pods, so you never have to go home, and it's like you can read between the lines type deal, not just the inefficiency of it. Fluke recently announced that he is dating a woman that often appears in his videos to give her HR expertise. Do you want to come up here and be in the video? They shout you out in this article. What's that like? You working? Okay, recently announced. I feel like I announced this like almost a year ago. I feel like this is something that I would see at like the cash register at like the grocery store, you know, in like the tabloids. recently announced that he's dating a woman that often appears to give her HR expertise. It's like, but it's me, and it's my life. Strange. Real strange. Josh has made a name for himself in the computer science YouTube world. While some might criticize his professionalism, his advice has helped many people secure jobs and develop their software engineering skills. I hope that I've at least done more than that for some of you. Like if you get a job, that's fantastic. I've helped people do that, but software engineering skills, it's so broad, dude. Everyone has their own specialty. I think this article was pretty fair to me. It's pretty nice, but thanks for the kind words. Here's another website that hates me. I'm grouped with Tech Lead. Fired from Google, makes money off of wannabes by prefacing satire videos with "as a millionaire." And then my section is typical know-nothing, and then in quotations, web developer. You're a know-nothing web developer. And this says a lot about the elitism in software engineering. Like, web dev's not real. You're not a real engineer unless you're using data structures and algorithms to build something for Google, Netflix, Amazon, or any other Silicon Valley company. Makes weirdly personal videos, including ones claiming his wife forcing divorce. That's true. It happened. Shitty girlfriend cheating on him with his best friend. This part is accurate right there. That's true. And he's not my best friend anymore. His parents disowned him. It was my grandparents first. Press X to doubt. I could see how that would be doubtable, but it's all real. And then the entire thread is about Tech Lead. Here's another article about me on Blind, which is the website you can use to anonymously talk about what you're being paid and what you think of the company that you're working at. What do you guys think about Josh? He has some good points on the tech industry. I sympathize with some of the events that happened in his life. He comes off as a really entitled and delusional about how the world works. I also think his engineering skills are pretty lacking, and I believe he should not be in a position to give advice about tech careers. Like, resume advice is pretty universal across the board. Applying to jobs, learning the ins and outs of that, I think, is actually pretty helpful. Also, his negative attitude towards the vast majority of things is generally unjustified. I don't really think that I'm negative. I think that I'm just a realist. The glass isn't half full and the glass isn't half empty. It's just a glass of water, you know? I just see things for what they are. If we scroll down, again, this is mostly about other people. Most of the tech YouTubers are really noob engineers, including Josh. Joma's a data scientist. He's an L3 engineer at Google and hasn't done much during the last 1 year based on his internal stats. Ooh, dude, just people are getting roasted. They're roasting Clement. Clement talks about the system design BS, but he's a math major who worked on some Angular frontend while he was at Google. Basically, his experience in the tech industry is mostly involving using mat button and mat input. He also quit Facebook in a month. So as you can see, like, the software engineering industry is actually pretty elitist, and if if you're literally not Elon Musk, you're a noob. And then they talk about Tech Lead here. These guys just regurgitate crap they read on Blind to naive junior engineers on YouTube. No one smart takes them or their opinions seriously. Interesting, very interesting. This is the first time I've ever really looked at Blind to see what people are saying about me. Anyways, now to the positive part of the video where we can see what Reddit thought of my Google wannabes, where all of the startups try to be different by being exactly the same. So let's look at the comments. Some of them are pretty funny. Like this guy, open concept offices are always the idea of one guy who has his own office. That one guy is the CEO. My favorite part is that they often put the most non-social people into these open workspaces. The best developers I know are brilliant, but the majority of them have the social skills of an intoxicated aardvark. I mean, that's not entirely true. You just have to talk to them about something that they're interested in. The gong got me the most. It's absurd how many companies have them, and it's the dumbest thing. I agree with this guy. I hate all the cheering and clapping and stuff in offices. And that doesn't mean that you're a negative person because you don't like doing that in the office. I'm not even that expressive in real life, so I hate being forced to express feelings of happiness that I don't have. It's the same thing with team building exercises. It's like, I'm not even that social in real life, and now I have to be social and pretend to be interested and happy to do this activity that I just would much rather not do. Come on, everybody. Shake your dignity off. Can't have that and work here. I'm glad there are some people on Reddit who can understand my side of things and see what I see. I know that gong alone would make me hate my life. It was a joke on The Office because of how absurd of an idea it was, yet here we are. I think a lot of companies watch The Office as a tutorial and a guide of what to do, or they watch Silicon Valley as a guide, and it's like, do you guys not get it? It's like that cognitive dissonance. I've been around companies where the CEO announces, guys, we made a $10 million deal. Everybody is so happy for their absolutely $0 they get from it. There's a lot of that on LinkedIn. Let's celebrate our highest quarter ever in company history. My current job is like that, except my coworkers buy into the excitement. Yeah, I'll never get that. Oh my gosh, guys, just the four of us did $250,000 in sales last month. Cool. Do we get a raise or a bonus or... Oh, the owner would never go for that. As much as I do really love the coworkers at my jobs, not having the constant want to play some foosball, making me choose between a break or a productive spike, don't get me wrong, it's important to build professional relationships in a collaborative environment, but I'm always nervous that bosses are watching. See, that is the paradox of these perks at work. If you use the perks at work, play the video games, foosball tables, massage chairs, VR rooms, whatever, you're looked at as a slacker for using them because you could be working instead. But then on the other side of that, when you don't use those perks and you keep working, you're not a team player because you're not going with the other slackers that are going to use the perks. So there's really just no winning, and it's kind of just bait to see how people deal with it, I guess. This one was good. We're a company using AI-driven data analytics, team using machine learning to quantify the potential blockchain aspects of the microservices architecture to gain new clients. Okay, well, what are the product returns? Currently, we're expanding out our user base, but our startup has been evaluated at $1 billion, and we have received a Series A funding for $1 million. I'm really glad that people are starting to get it. I'll link all these things in the comments so you guys can go read them if you want. They're pretty funny. But thanks so much for being here. Thanks for supporting me, Reddit, finally. And if you enjoyed the video, go ahead, click thumbs up, click subscribe, and leave a comment if you've got any other articles about me. I don't know if I actually want to read it at this point. It feels weird. I'm not a star. But that's it. Thanks so much. See you in the next one.